In episode 1, I told you about the boy who lost his voice. But childhood wounds don't disappear when the boy grows up, do they? Sometimes they grow with us. They evolve. They hide under habits until we don't recognize where the pain is coming from anymore. Today, let's talk about the man I became. The man who thought he was strong. The man who thought he was in control. The man who didn't know he was bleeding from a wound he never treated. This is Becoming David, episode 2. People see addictions like it just pops up, as if one day you wake up and say, you know what, let me destroy my life today. But addictions don't start as addictions. They start as coping. They start as relief. They start as an escape. For me, it became harmless. A little sports betting to distract myself, a little pornography as a teenager because no one ever taught me what intimacy actually meant, a little masturbation because it numbed me, a little gambling because it gave me something to feel, anything to feel. And soon, a little became a monster because unresolved trauma will always demand a sacrifice. And I kept sacrificing my future one habit at a time. Let's talk about gambling. That one took me places I'm not proud of. It started as excitement, the rush, the thrill, the almost win. And it hooked me because I knew it. I was chasing losses, borrowing money, using business funds, selling things, promising myself every night, just one more game, then I'll stop. But addiction doesn't negotiate. It only takes. And gambling took everything. My savings, my peace, my confidence, my relationships, my sense of respect, and also took my marriage. I was the financial expert, the business development guy, the consultant, but privately, I was broke, reckless, and drowning. I was two different Davids. One people admired, and one I couldn't stand to look at. Here's the part most people don't understand. I wasn't a backslider. I wasn't anti-God. I wasn't living some wild double life intentionally. I was a tongue-talking Christian, faithful in church, trying to do right, but fighting battles nobody could see. People assume Christians don't struggle, that if you pray long enough or fast hard enough or read your Bible long enough, the chains will break instantly. But what happens when your spiritual life is strong and your emotional life is shattered? What happens when you can speak in tongues but you can't speak your truth? When you can worship but can't look in the mirror? I remember praying, God, help me stop. But God can't heal what you won't reveal. And I wasn't ready to reveal anything, not even to myself. So I kept bleeding, quietly, violently, alone. There's always a breaking point. For me, it wasn't dramatic. No ambulance, no overdose, no public meltdown. It was the day I checked my bank balance and realized I had blown money I needed for rent again. The shame hit me so hard, I sat on the floor and cried quietly like a child. Not because of the money, but because I didn't recognize the man I had become. A liar, a gambler, a reckless spender, a man losing everything while pretending everything was fine. That day, I realized something painful. Addiction isn't about pleasure. It's about pain. It's the wound crying for attention. It's the boy inside you asking to be healed. Let me say this clearly. My addictions hurt my marriage. Not because I cheated, even though I did. That's a story for another day. Not because I wanted to lose my home, but because addiction makes you emotionally unavailable. It makes you unreliable. It makes you ashamed, and shame creates silence, and silence kills intimacy. I became distant, easily irritated, easily triggered, always hustling to cover one mistake with another. My wife didn't understand what was happening, and honestly, Neither did I. She was looking at a grown man, but living with a wounded boy. And wounded boys don't know how to love properly. They only know how to survive. Healing didn't start the day I stopped gambling. Healing started the day I asked myself one honest question. David, what are you running from? And all the answers led back to episode 1, to the boy, to the room, to the silence, to the wound I ignored for 20 years. You cannot fix what you refuse to face. So I faced it. I faced it slowly, painfully, honestly. I started therapy. I haven't completed it yet though. I started journaling. I started lying to myself. I stopped hiding behind spirituality. I allowed myself to be human, not superhuman, not Superman, just a man. And for the first time in a long time, I started becoming someone I could respect. If you're listening to this and you're fighting your own addictions, whether it's gambling, porn, masturbation, alcohol, attention, validation, drugs, hear me. You're not weak. You're wounded, and wounds can heal. Addiction is not the problem. It's the symptom. The root is deeper. The pain is older. The child inside you is still calling for help. And the fact that you're listening means you're ready to start becoming too. This was episode 2. The man who didn't know where he was bleeding. In episode 3, I'm taking you to 2021, to the day I finally met my father and discovered the truth I had been running from since childhood. That broke me. I don't know why I was stuttering as I'm talking about it now, because imagine you hearing rumors about your father all your life that he never wanted you, and you tried to confront him finally, and the rumors were true. He spoke to you to your face. Anyways, that truth broke me and freed me at the same time. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. New episodes every week. I'm flawed, I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm learning. I'm just becoming David. Thank you for listening to the Becoming David podcast. New episodes drop every week, so please subscribe, share, and join me on this journey of being flawed, faithful, healing out loud, and still becoming. I'll see you on the next episode.